Hello, Meharryans. So my name, once again, is Dr. Nicole Bell. Most people call me Nikki, Dr. Nikki. And my patients know me via Instagram as the Lip Doctor. Student doctors, from this day forth, I want all of you to be sure to always include doctor in your name, no matter the activity or the reason. We worked very hard for that title, going through many of the struggles that many in this room know all too well. Now, I'm going to talk to you about the beginning, but let me start with the present. How many of you have it on your travel wish list to experience a lavish New Year's Eve watching the Swarovski ball drop in Times Square in the middle of New York City, which happens to be the most viewed New Year's Eve celebration in the world? Any takers? Anyone here? Any student here? Dreaming a little bit? Who's dreaming with me tonight? I'm sure that many of you do. Let me describe to you the Lip Doctor's New Year's going into 2020. Well, yes, I was in Times Square, but I didn't have to wait on a cold street at 11 a.m. with random bystanders. Instead, I was invited to a celebrity VIP extravaganza at the rooftop of the Marriott Marquis in the heart of it all, watching this glamorous ball drop. I later found out that my tickets were worth $20,000. We enjoyed everything that you would anticipate. Gourmet food, food stations on every level, extensive ice carving, sushi bars, several dessert rooms, celebrities were dancing amongst us, enjoying the festivities and the concert. Did I mention that I didn't pay to be at the party? One of my celebrity patients asked me to join her for the evening. My patients treated us as a token of appreciation for allowing her crew to film an entire episode with me on her hit 90 Day Fiancé show. Her name was Darcy Silva, and the show aired this August. So the title, The Lip Doctor, has given me the ability to connect with star-powered patients. So do not ever underestimate the power of your title. But this dream began right here in Meharry. I dreamed of becoming a dentist, and I have not yet woken up from my dream. While at this very institution, I dreamed of building a business and of being called doctor and having a family. After meeting and being welcomed into the home of one particular woman whose young children I babysat, I sat at her table during Thanksgiving holidays, and this gave me the opportunity to watch her very closely, and I watched her break barriers. So I knew too that my dreams would come true. This woman's name is Dr. Sheree Farmer-Dixon. And she was my mentor, later my sorority sister, and she was like a mother to me. And she wasn't the only one. Many of your current professors opened up their arms to me, including Dr. Dabney Young and Dr. Sandra Harris, just to name a few. The love in this school environment certainly is not the norm. And trust me that I know, as my ex-husband and my sister both attended Columbia Dental. Meharry women and men taught me the value in continuing to pass on that mentoring torch. I have mentees and interns rotating through my office routinely. Jordan Douglas had the opportunity to meet my intern and to shadow me for a day. After Meharry, I completed a residency and was fearful of narrowing my future opportunities. So although I wanted to specialize, I was hesitant. About 6 months after my graduation, in a local dental society meeting, just like this, a a doctor randomly offered me the opportunity to rent an operatory in his office, and I took him up on that offer. About 3 months after, he announced to me that his health was failing, and I bought the practice in about 45 days. I incorporated my business. I think you need to pay attention at this table. This is important stuff. I'm trying to teach you. So, if I can do this, all of you can do this. I incorporated my business, and I spent an additional $6,500 just to acquire the word studio into my practice. At the time, studio and spas were not typical for dentists. So I paid additional money from my attorney to defend the selection of my title versus New York State. Today, I am the lip doctor at Cosmetic and Laser Dental Studio. My parents even asked me, why would you select a cosmetic name? People will be intimidated. But I didn't agree. And I always yearned to be cutting edge. The words laser and studio are exactly the terms that propelled me to transition into becoming the lip doctor and an aesthetic dentist. I didn't even realize then that I was a visionary. This year in 2020, I launched the makeup and skincare line, which sold out within 30 days on my online store. I didn't have time to develop my celebrity endorsements. It was named after my brand, The Lip Doctor, and that proved to be all the endorsement that I needed. After spending in excess over the course of my career, I would say about $300,000 in lasers, cutting-edge devices, traveling abroad to seek and learn complex bone graft procedures, implant placement techniques, I completed a full mouth rehab case that never looked aesthetically pleasing to me. I'll never forget her. A woman walks in my office, she's in her late 60s. She announces to me, she says, I know your parents. So you know what that means. I have to take the case. She said, I heard about you, Dr. Bell. I'm giving you the money that I saved from my Jaguar if you fix my mouth. After we completed her maxillary arch by placing implants from number 3 to 14, I was never really satisfied with her result. Her implants were beautiful. The reason why was because she really would have needed to save for 2 Jaguars. She needed one on the upper arch and one for the lower arch. You're gonna witness a lot of this when you get into private practice. She ran out of money. So we settled for a complete denture on the lowers. Due to the occlusal wear patterns placed on her lower acrylic teeth from the upper prosthesis, she always visually had a deficient and an aging profile. But I was determined to find a solution, and at this stage, grafting was not an option. Later, I had an aha moment. Nasolabial faux fillers. Are you guys familiar with Juvederm yet? Marionette zone fillers and cheek fillers, such as Sculptra, had the ability to immediately, like that, restore her profile to an even skeletal classification. It took me many years and included travels as far as Israel to learn these accelerated techniques. The rest of the world is far more advanced and liberal when it comes to the use of neuromodulators, such as Botox. Although I learned many sophisticated techniques, most of them were not yet FDA approved here in the US, and it took me years to be able to practice some of my favorite and most advanced techniques, including PDL threads or polydioxanone sutures to create a facelift. I now have a friend who is a Beverly Hills plastic surgeon that I met via social media, who is acclaimed for completing the facial transition for Caitlyn Jenner, or some of you know her as Bruce Jenner Kardashian. And after meeting and sitting with Lee in his OR for cases, I later learned that he first graduated from dental school and then did a residency in oral surgery until later on deciding to return for plastic surgery. I want all of you to remember that there is more than one path, and you may have to be a pioneer and create your own lane. If you dream big enough, you just might surprise yourself. For me, solely working on celebrities and influencers is not nearly as exciting as helping someone to overcome a flaw. We've all witnessed someone who doesn't smile due to poor oral conditions. I'm sure you've even witnessed it in your clinics by now. But can you imagine having an external flaw? I'm going to give you an example. A scar, acne scars, cleft palates, cleft lips, stretch marks. You can't hide them. This is where aesthetics allows you to become a true healer. We work not only from the inside out, but from the outside in. Your treatment has the ability to touch a soul and become life-changing. In a recent interview for my article with Black Enterprise magazine, I was asked, what do you attribute your success to? I told them that it was that Mamba mentality. I'm most proud of my work ethic and discipline. I work hard daily. As a parent with 2 vibrant young children, 2 private practices, and I dress for the occasion every day. No scrubs, and I follow up on all of my disgruntled cases personally. All of this grooming began right here at this fine institution. Most importantly, Meharry taught me the importance in giving back. I partnered with celebrity patient platforms to help raise money for initiatives. Some of my past mission trips were to India and Thailand. This past September, I worked alongside the Grammy Award-winning pastor Donnie McClurkin. We traveled with a group of 40 to Jamaica. If you guys stay in contact with me, you can come with us next year. We worked in maximum sentencing prisons along the island, and we shared our gifts. I pulled teeth along with my team while he ministered. We have more trips to come, and we enjoy our jobs because we are both living our dreams out loud. Changing paths and diverting along the way for some may appear to be a flaw. For me, this has become my dream and a part of my story. The audacity of someone to not dream. For I would not be standing here talking to you today if I had followed my original plan. 20 years ago, my father drove me from my dorm room directly to my Meharry interview from New York City. He reminded me that although I had missed my other interviews, which I'm not too proud of, that my dream of attending Meharry was something that I shouldn't give up on. I remember that drive like it was yesterday. My dad had a thing for a convertible, so it was a cool ride. I remember Dr. Dixon interviewing me. She probably doesn't even remember. I remember dreaming again on my car ride home about attending Meharry. Well, my father passed away this past September, the day that I returned home from my mission trip from Jamaica. His last breath was taken as I walked off of the podium and shared my journey via a live stream around the world with Pastor Donnie McClurkin. Hearing those words that he was gone temporarily wiped me out. Then a woman entered my life via Instagram. Her Instagram name is Real Talk Kim. She and I met at the perfect time because she's a part of my dream. Remember? If I can see it, it will happen. She had no idea that during my father's hospice transition, her words had already lifted me from a depression. And we are now friends. I began to then recollect my father's story because he was a rock star in his own right. He was an educator, a commercial real estate owner, a college lifetime board of trustees member, the list goes on, but he was that father. My father's story being the first African-American graduate of his university in New England, and then sending and financing up to 15 minority students to his college on scholarships. I knew then why God put me in this position in life. Because legacies were meant to be continued. Challenges were meant to be overcome. And paths were meant to have diversions. And dreams, both mine and yours, were all meant to come true. I'm Dr. Nikki Bell, the Lip Doctor, and I thank you all for this opportunity tonight.
So we would like to thank Dr. Nicole Bell for coming out today by presenting her with an award. Thank you so much for taking the time out. I hope that everyone takes heed to her words and following and keeping your dream. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
You have a good